future of East Longmeadow's town government was decided on Tuesday, April 12th at the annual town election. Kevin Manley is the newest member to the Board of Selectmen and the charter did pass. So what does this mean for the town? The details ahead.
Plus, highlights from Manley's first Board of Selectmen meeting. An open meeting law complaint led board members to review and re-vote on a motion from the March 16th Board of Selectmen meeting.
Also coming up, recreation news, extended hours at a heritage park, and learn how you can take part in the town's recreation and open space plan.
And later, ELCAT sits down with Police Sergeant Dennis Sheehan to talk about the annual Drug Take-Back Day.
Those stories and much more ahead on ELCAT News Update. Good evening, I'm Rebecca Green.
And I'm Bella Kokoinakis.
We begin tonight with a wrap-up of the April 12th annual town election. An incredible record for the voter turnout, the highest voting percentage that the town clerk, Tom Florence, has seen in his past 10 years. The high number of votes resulted in the charter passing and Kevin Manley on the Board of Selectmen.
2016 annual town election. The only two races I think you guys want to know about is for Selectmen and for the charter vote. So I'll start with Selectmen. This is in total. William Arment, 1,505 votes. Kevin Manley, 2,259 votes, or it comes out 60% Manley, 40% Arment. The charter vote, ballot question 1, shall this town approve the new charter recommended by the Charter Commission? Yes votes, 2,406. No votes, 1,621, by a percentage of 59.7 to 40.3. The yes votes carry the determination for the new charter. We had 4,048 voters come through Birchland Park today out of 11,114 registered voters. It's 36.4%.
So, what does this mean for the town? The Board of Selectmen will be dissolved on July 1st, and a 7-member town council will be elected in June to serve as the town's legislative body, replacing town meeting. The last town meeting will be held on May 16th at the East Longmeadow High School. An interim town manager will then be appointed by that 7-member town council on July 1st. Many residents have shown interest in running for town council. From a Friday, April 15th update, 23 residents have taken out papers. They are Anthony Gentile Jr., Thomas J. Morissette, George C. Kingston, Jean L. Delaney, Kevin M. Manley, William R. Arment, V. Van Johnson III, Alan C. Lohman, Anthony J. Deaney, Paul Louis Federici, Louis J. Morbido, Kelly Marie Degnan, Gregory Thompson, Donald J. Anderson, Thomas C. O'Connor, Patricia A. Ahern, Brian A. Falk, Larry Levine, Joanne O'Brien, Eric H. Madison, Isabella Kokoyanakis, Michael J. Kane, and William E. Jakes.
On Wednesday, ELCAT covered Kevin Manley's first Board of Selectmen meeting, where he made a motion to appoint Paul Federici as chair.
I'd like to begin tonight by welcoming our newest member. As you know, we had an election yesterday, and I'm pleased to welcome Kevin Manley to the team. First item on the agenda is a reorganization of the board, and I'll ask if anyone has any thoughts on reorganizing.
I would like to put you back in your chairman seat, Paul, where you belong.
I don't know if where Don is. I don't know. I mean, Jim. I don't know if that's a formal.
I'll make a motion to put Paul back in the chairman seat.
I'll move it.
Any objections? Any further discussion?
Nope.
Any objections? All in favor?
Aye.
The board then headed into executive session while residents waited for almost an hour for their return. An open meeting law complaint about the March 16th Board of Selectmen meeting was filed through a resident. The complaint led to a thorough review about the March 16th agenda and the motions that were made at that meeting.
There are a couple of concerns that I have, and I relayed that to the board, with respect to the posting of the notices of the meeting. In my opinion, didn't give sufficient notice to the townspeople. Was the appointment or the offer of a contract to the administrator as a permanent administrator. The decision to do that is appropriate for the board to make. However, the agenda item listed discussion of the interim administrator's contract. And the discussion really turned into the discussion of a permanent administrator's contract. So my recommendation to the board, should they decide to follow it, is to vote to rescind the action that was taken under that article.
I'm going to propose a motion to give the interim town administrator his 10-day notice and terminate his employment.
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second on necessity. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to another town meeting, the Board of Library Trustees discussed new technology that will improve adult programs. The library was able to purchase 12 Google Chromebooks for the library's use.
This is the Chromebook. This is how big it is. And you can see the IT department has set it all up. That came from our state aid.
The state aid budget for technology. Okay, how many do we have?
We have 12.
12.
We have a cart, which is in the community room, that houses all of them. And when you're done, you just put it in the cart, plug it in, and it's always charging. You can have someone who wants to teach a class come in, and we can now provide the class with Chromebooks.
Speaking of technology, thanks to a generous donation from the Friends of the Library, the children's program now provides Launchpads, a learning device that teaches different subjects through games and stories.
Launchpad.
Playaway Launchpad, and this is principally used for the children's department?
Each one is on a different subject. Which is this one?
Turn that one around. It's on the back of it. It says.
Oh yeah,
which
there
one
it is.
Book Bash.
Book
And,
Bash.
and
English
it's
language
geared
arts.
for ages 5 to 7th grade, K to 2.
And these are available,
They're
how
on
many,
different subjects.
how many
topics.
do we have in the library right now?
The first purchase, I think we got 15.
Yeah.
15.
Right?
And I'll tell you,
Yeah.
every time I've come to get one, there's only one or
Yeah,
maybe
they're
2
all-
or none in.
They're all out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Friends gave a very generous donation
Donation.
and helped us get a good start.
But you can see how neat it is. And then it's very easy to use. It's preloaded with different educational games on the particular topic.
These units can be charged out as any of our library materials.
Yeah.
And all you need is a library card.
Library card.
For recreation news, Heritage Park has extended their hours. Just in time for the warm weather, Heritage Park will now be open from 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you want to spend more time outdoors, you may voice that opinion. The Open Space and Recreation Committee has prepared a survey for residents to understand their wants and concerns regarding the town's open and recreational space. Recreation Director Colin Drury explains the importance of the survey.
The Open Space and Recreation Plan is something that needs to be filed with our state every single 5 years. When I came to the town, we actually hadn't had an updated plan since the year 2000. And what that does for me is it kind of puts a barrier in front of me for writing grants or possibly getting like special programs from the state for our town. Ralph Page from the planning board, myself from the commission, Gordon Smith, from the schools, we kind of got everyone involved to create the newest open space and recreation plan. So we're working with that right now. The Pioneer Valley Planning Commission is actually assisting us with this. We did receive a grant to actually do the new document. And one of the biggest parts is the survey. So getting town input, getting people from our town to give us the information on what they enjoy, what they want to do. Are they into hiking? Are they into horseback riding? Do they want more sports fields? What do they want? Do they just want a park bench? So the survey is kind of the tool to get us that information, to have town input. So when we're putting together this document for the state, then they'll really understand what we're trying to do in East Long Meadow. And then when I go for a grant, I can specifically point to sports fields, or I can specifically point to trail systems on getting new things for East Long Meadow. The new open space and recreation plan, our goal is to file it this upcoming fall, where all the results will be inside the plan. And you'll see themes inside the plan that are based on the results that we're getting now. So it's nice to kind of see what our constituents and our citizens really want to see.
The survey is located on the town's website at eastlongmeadowma.gov. The survey will be closed on June 1st. Make sure to visit and get your voice heard.
In safety news, we have a few items to cover. First, the East Longmeadow Police Department is happy to announce that they will be providing the community with a Drug Take-Back Day. Drug Take-Back Day allows residents to drop off any unused or expired medication at the East Longmeadow Police Station to be disposed properly and removed from homes. Police Sergeant Dennis Sheehan tells us more about the program.
Over the course of our 5 or 6 years that we've participated in this, we've collected over 1,000 pounds of drugs. And if you think about how minuscule a pill is, how much a pill weighs, that's quite a bit of drugs that we've diverted from the waste stream. It's very valuable to help get unwanted, unused prescription drugs off the street.
It's easy for residents to participate. The program is completely confidential and there will be no questions asked.
Just pull up into the front driveway of the station. There'll be officers and agents of the DEA and maybe a couple of interns, kids that have to do community service, usually help volunteer for this. Just pull up, hand it to us, we'll put it in the box, and like I said, the box gets sealed, guarantee confidentiality, and then it'll be properly disposed of. We place them in a plastic-lined cardboard box that gets sealed up. It's taken directly to an incinerator, and the DEA incinerates the drugs. That benefits everybody because it keeps it out of the waste stream. It doesn't end up in a landfill leaching into the ground. It doesn't end up in our groundwater or our water supply. If somebody flushes it down the toilet, it ends up, eventually through the water cycle in the groundwater or drinking water. That's what we're trying to avoid.
According to the Drug Enforcement Administration, unused or expired prescription medications are a public safety issue that may lead to accidental poisoning, overdose, and abuse.
Well, with the opiate crisis, it can help get some of the drugs, pain medications, Percocet and oxycodone, things like that, out of medicine cabinets, because that is something that somebody who's addicted would commonly look for. And not only during a house break, we find that kids are taking their parents' medications or their grandparents' medications, and they'll siphon off a few at a time so that somebody doesn't notice it. But the opiate crisis is in part fueled by these pain medications.
Residents currently wait once or twice a year for this event. Sheehan is hoping to find a way to collect unused drugs all year round.
We're anticipating obtaining a container, some type of secure box that we can put in our lobby so that people can do this year round. Other departments have done that and found it to be very successful. So you don't have to just wait for this time during the year if you want to get rid of them. And so we anticipate obtaining a container like that soon.
This event takes place on Saturday, April 30th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
The town also offers a program where you can dispose of other products, such as electronics and furniture. The East Longmeadow Department of Public Works is pleased to announce that the Knowlton Transfer Station on Summers Road will return to summer hours. Starting on Wednesday, April 20th, the station will be open Wednesdays and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We jump from safety to health news. The Board of Health announced that the annual mosquito spraying will occur between April 25th and May 6th. For the past 3 years, the company JBI has conducted mosquito spraying for the town. JBI helicopter services will set up at the center field to conduct an aerial spraying called BTI that will cover about 1,000 acres of the town's wetlands, which are considered to be prime breeding sites for mosquitoes. BTI is a naturally occurring soil bacterium that helps effectively kill mosquito larvae and is considered a biocontrol product that's non-toxic. Questions or concerns? Contact East Longmeadow's Board of Health.
Now it's time for our weekly segment, Library Learning, where we let you know what events are coming up at the East Longmeadow Public Library. First up, a cooking demo with Chef Ray. Learn how to make Caesar salad from scratch, homemade Caesar dressing, croutons, and potato-crusted chicken. Registration is required, so make sure you sign up. This event takes place on Monday, April 25th at 6 p.m. in the library community room.
This next event will get you hungry for motivation. The event is called Not Your Mother's Job Search. The program provides an overview of the 21st century job search strategies. Learn applicant tracking systems, social media, and online job boards. The event is put on by the Friends of the East Longmeadow Public Library and will begin on April 26 at 10:30 a.m. Well, That will do it for us tonight on this edition of ELCAT News Update.
Be sure to watch meetings on demand at our ELCAT YouTube channel, ELCAT 01028. Follow us on Facebook and watch us on cable channel 191. I'm Rebecca Green.
And I'm Bella Kokoinakis. Until next time, good night.